excited to be able to share some tips, tricks, and some new things that Amazon has up their sleeve. But before we go, I better turn off my Alexa device because she will interrupt. So we thought today I know we talked a little bit about the Amazon Alexa and last time, but we thought we wanted to take a little deeper dive into some of the Amazon and Alexa skills and kind of update you a little bit. Up on the top right-hand corner is one of Amazon's latest devices. That's the Echo. It's turned into sort of a sphere or global look to it. So hopefully we'll get better sound from it as well. And the other thing too is, Adam and I are not being paid by Amazon to do this. We're not sponsored, but if you're looking to get into purchasing a device in the next couple of weeks, it's going to be the perfect time to buy with a lot of the Black Friday sales, coming online. So if you're looking for a device, now is the time. So just a quick update. Adam and I have a whole series put together for tech for older adults, and you can sign up at the atfornj.org/webinars.
Yeah, Brian, I just want to talk a little bit about these real quick. Next
Yeah.
Tuesday is going to be the magnifiers, handheld magnifiers for older adults with visual limitations. So it's going to be regular standard handheld and some digital magnifiers. And then after that, we're going to do a webinar every month. January 6th is going to be reading supports. February 3rd is going to be writing supports. And March 3rd is going to be daily living support. So it's going to be general purpose, but with a little bit of a bent towards older adults. And also the chat window is going to be open today. So if you have questions, it's a quick workshop. So one of us will try to answer your questions through the chat window.
Great. Come on. So we just kind of thought, just to give you an overview, because the virtual assistants in the home from Amazon, it keeps changing. Those are some of the devices that are available, and the white one is from Google. But you can see you have lots of options. You can have devices with or without screens, and you have to determine which is better for you and what your preference is. I know some people, because of privacy, don't want to have a screen with a camera. Many of the newer devices that are shipping now have little physical toggle switches that actually cover up the camera. But again, you decide if you want a screen or you don't want a screen. Of course, the ones with the screens cost significantly more than the basic Echo Dot. So just a couple of things when we're thinking about older adults and maybe even caregivers. A lot of people want to use these devices, especially when you think about what's happening with COVID and people that are locked into assisted living centers or nursing homes. The ability to check in with mom or dad or loved ones, is certainly a reason to consider some of these devices because they can do video conferencing. You can also get notifications when certain events take place. And for older folks that may have physical limitations, they can turn on lights, open doors, using voice commands. And they also monitor who rings the bell. So for basic security, this is important. In addition, I'll talk about Amazon just turned on this feature called Care Hub that really is fantastic if you want to kind of check in with loved ones who might you have concerns about their health or falling or anything like that. So the other thing too is when we think about caring for loved ones remotely, we want to see if we can check in on them or drop in. And many of the Amazon devices have a drop in feature. And now the Care Hub makes it even easier to drop in and do a video conference, even just a call, which is great. And with Care Hub 2, you can also now get notifications as well. Well, let's see what happened here. Oh, so some of the benefits for caring for loved ones are staying in touch with loved ones, communicate more easily. Many of us are doing Zoom, but there's no reason why you couldn't drop in and do a conference call using Alexa. It's a great way to keep up with the news. I know I often listen to the news through iTunes, not I did. iHeartRadio. I just say, Alexa, play iHeartRadio and the name of the station, and I can listen to the news. You can also listen to Audible audiobooks, which is really fantastic. You can certainly, lots of, we call skills or games to maintain cognitive ability. One of the things I use it for is for setting alarms and reminders. And in this time of COVID, I've been using Amazon as an example to order dark roast coffee, and using my voice, Amazon will remind me when it thinks I might need some more, and it's easy to put it on my list. The other feature which can be really helpful in the home is using, if you have multiple devices, you can use them as an intercom system to call from room to room, which could make it a really great communication tool. And you can also use the Amazon Alexa devices to make announcements. So you can announce things like dinner is ready, or how are you feeling, or whatever else you want to communicate. And also, you can use the Amazon Alexa with additional devices for environmental control. So again, changing the temperature on the thermostat can be something that might be important. Turning on lights, even window shades come motorized, where you can use Alexa with your voice to control shades moving up and down.
Brian,
Yes.
I'd just like to interject just a
Go ahead.
quick
Jump in.
addition.
Yep.
Is older adults who might be using an augmented communication device can
Mm-hmm.
also use Alexa or the other smart devices. They do recognize synthesized speech.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone with multiple disabilities wants to be able to control their environment, an inexpensive way is to program their communication device to with Alexa commands.
That's a really good point. And I know you and I have done when we were able to in person webinars, and we've actually showed and demonstrated, and it works. It works really well.
Yes, it does for sure.
So here's I kind of put up a bunch of devices. It's growing in leaps and bounds. But you have, everything from smart plugs that are, Amazon's done that's an Amazon smart plug, and they've done a great job of sort of self-configuration. So if you purchase the plug from Amazon, it comes almost pre-configured to your account, your Amazon account. You plug it in, looks for the Wi-Fi, then you can plug a lamp or any other device and then begin to use your voice to control that device. I have the smart plugs throughout my home to turn on lights, which makes it really nice. And again, just imagine that you've done some shopping, your hands are full, and you walk into your house. You could, easily turn on, kitchen lights or lights in the bedroom or the living room. So it makes it really easy. That device in the top center is basically a device that lets you add Alexa to your car. Then you have Alexa with, screens. You even have Alexa that's built into microwaves, so you can control the microwaves, and certainly light bulbs as well. And also, you have the Ring bell, technology that works with Alexa as well. So when someone rings the bell in my home, I can actually, on my device, see who's ringing the doorbell. So lots of different ways to think about using it, and the number of devices has been increasing. Just off the charts. Every week there's new devices coming out, not only by Amazon but by third parties as well.
Okay. So who can benefit from using Alexa? Well, obviously, lots of us can because these devices are really popular and we use them in our daily routines to help us keep track of things, entertain us, etc. But specifically, people with all kinds of disabilities, including visual impairments, motor impairments, reading disabilities, uh, individuals with organizational memory issues. So, for instance, if you have a visual impairment, um, you can just speak what you want to the Amazon device, and you can control it 100% with your voice once it's programmed and set up. If you have a motor disability, you have difficulty turning on lights or moving from room to room, again, you could use the Amazon Alexa devices to control your environment, turn lights on and off, turn the heat on or off, open shades, unlock doors, etc. If you have a reading disability, you could, as Brian was mentioning, you could link it up with Audible audiobooks or with other spoken word apps. And if you have organizational memory issues, you can link it to things like your Google Calendar. So if you want to know what's on your agenda for today, you can say, Alexa, what's on my calendar for today? And it will tell you.
So we did have just two quick questions. Can Alexa answer incoming calls on a cell phone? So the answer is, if you have the Alexa device on there, it can, and it can also call cell phones as long as it's in your contacts. It's still, I don't believe it can still access 911, but with the um, Care Hub, there is some ways to do automatic notifications. There is actually, Amazon does sell like a little box that you can plug a standard phone into, then would give you the opportunity to use a standard phone to interact with the Alexa device.
Okay.
All right, great. So just something to keep in mind, especially during these very unusual times, is Amazon has created a method and a system to help loved ones set up an Alexa device remotely. So you'll have access to this slide deck. I don't want to go over step by step. The most important thing is, if let's say you're the child and you bought the device, just make sure that when you purchase the device on Amazon, that you select the gift option, because if you don't, and you just purchase it outright, it's going to be linked to your account. So when you purchase an Echo device or an Amazon Alexa device, just choose the gift option. This way it comes basically unconfigured and it's not linked to your personal device. Then you can follow the steps and set up the Amazon Alexa device, and then give it to your loved one and they can plug it in and get started with it. So this is important information, and again, a great way to give loved ones access to Alexa and all the communication capabilities of it. So I just want to talk about this feature just sort of came into being. It's called the Care Hub, and basically it's a way for a caregiver or a loved one to kind of see when that loved one is actually using the device. It also allows for easy communication from a caregiver or a loved one through the Alexa device. So this is something that you would actually get set up in your Alexa device. And maybe now's a good time. I'm going to stop sharing on here, and hopefully I'm going to share my iPhone. Let's see, it may take a little bit of time, but all right. So let's see. I'm going to go here, screen on, Zoom, if all goes well. Okay. So I'm just going to go to Alexa. Hopefully you can see that. Oop. So this is in the app, and you're seeing my phone. If I click on more and I click see more, you can see that you have Care Hub as one of the options. And when you say get started, you can see you can get notified if your loved one asks for help, create customized alerts for important events. Okay. Stay in touch using Alexa devices. So again, you can go from your phone to an Alexa device. And you can use the Alexa app to know your loved one is okay, because you'll be able to see their activity as they're using it. So if they get up in the morning and they tend to listen to music, you're going to see that they were listening, to music. But for some reason, if you get up and you look at your phone and you see there's no activity, well, maybe you have, you have reason to be concerned. So this lets you. I'm not going to do this, but you can see that you can support someone or you can receive support. So I'm not going to go past this because then I'd have to set it up. But this is a really fantastic feature in these times. I know, Adam, you wanted to talk a little bit about blueprints. Maybe you think it'd be a good time to maybe do that now, or
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
but
okay. Yeah,
before we get there, Brian,
yep.
we had a really good question, and that is, someone has difficulty using Alexa because of the way they speak, and the question was, is there any way to modify that, or do we have any contacts at Amazon to help them modify their recognition algorithms?
Yeah, hold on. Let me. So this is a new app. I think it's in beta. I was actually playing around with it, and it it basically allows the individual to it'll identify their profile and their voice quality, and still allow it to communicate with the Alexa device. It's called Voice It. So what happens is um, you would actually create using their voice. They would say what the news, and then they can use this as a way to communicate with Alexa.
Mm-hmm. Good point. Thank you.
Okay.
There was also another question about Care Hub.
Yes.
Does it work across devices, or does it only work with Alexa, only Alexa and
This
Amazon?
is this is the in the Alexa call
Okay.
ecosystem. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
and I guess it's important to keep in mind that when you start choosing devices, it's like do you want to use Apple, Windows? It's the same thing. Is that right now you have your Google ecosystem, and then you have your Alexa ecosystem,
Yeah.
and then two separate environments. I mean, I'd have to say, I mean, I kind of hooked on to Amazon because I think they still have the market share, and they're doing, not that Google isn't, but I think they're doing more innovation, and they're ahead of Google in many respects in this space.
Mm-hmm.
I see we have some other chats. Any other questions in the chat?
Does Google offer anything comparable to Care Hub?
I don't think so. This is brand new. This just came out maybe a week ago. So I think it's kind of exciting because, before you had to kind of put things together yourself. So this is they understand the need for this, especially now that you have so many loved ones maybe in nursing homes or care centers, or they're just, solitary in their home. So I don't believe that Google has anything quite like this, and again, this is all integrated into the Amazon ecosystem.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Do you want to do blueprints?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you want me to go back to the slide deck first, or you want to stay here? Maybe it'll stay here. Let's stay.
Uh, sure.
All right. So
Okay, so blueprints are a way to create kind of like a customized skill. And for example, they have one where you can create a daily checklist, and the way it works is it opens up into a template, and you fill in the blanks. So for example, you could have a daily checklist, and it will ask you, well, what's the first task you're going to do that day? You type it in, and then you add the next task and the next task, and then you can ask Alexa, Alexa, what are the tasks I have to do today? And then Alexa will say, well, do you want to go through them one by one and tell me if you finished it or not? And you can set that up every day, or you could have it repeat day after day. You can also share them with other people if you want to, or you could just have it set up, for yourself. And the thing that's great about this is it's a way to, ultra customize the way that you're using your Amazon Alexa, and create things that are specific to your needs. So blueprints are kind of an extension. I almost call it like a customizable skill that enables you to really make it the way that you want it to be.
So this is the task tracker. Is this the one
Task
that
tracker.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
so here's some of the things you can say, but to make it your own, you just click over here and you would just, kind of create what you want, remove things or add items that more specific. And again, you can create it, which is really nice. And they have some other interesting ones as well, that you can create. And as Adam said, you can also share these now as well. So if you've created one, you can share it with your mom, your dad, or whoever else you want. So these are great. So without any programming, you can create your own your own basically customized skills. These are actually almost like skills, which is great. Looks like we have some questions.
Let's see. Speech output for the screen. Um, okay. I'm not 100% sure I understand that question. Can you elaborate, please? Okay. Can you make the screen read aloud in the Alexa app? I'm assuming.
There is a screen. There is accessibility, and there is a screen reader
For your
um,
device.
for the device itself.
Yeah. So if you were on a smartphone, you'd have to use the smartphone's
Right.
text to speech feature, which pretty much all smartphones have, but you just have to know where it is to turn it on.
But the Alexa devices, especially those with screens, do have accessibility features, and one of them is a screen reader. No, you do not need Alexa in order to use the Ring doorbell. You could have notifications and images, video output come to your cell phone. Good questions. Keep them coming.
Brian, did you talk about routines yet?
Now I'm gonna click on routines. So I just want to I'm just going to go to devices, and I just want to let's see, that didn't, I think I got disconnected from it. No,
I can see your screen.
I know, but it's not moving.
Mm.
Not, yeah. Let me stop the share and try that again.
So Brian is sharing the screen of his smartphone.
Let me just do that again. I may have disconnected.
Mm.
I think we're good now. Okay, so now you see it. So I tapped on devices, and You can see at the top, these are all the devices that I have. So if I click on plugs, it will show me what plugs I have. So I have some salt lamps, and one of them is in the bedroom, and you can see that it's on. I have some lamps plugged into the smart plugs, and again, I could turn them on or off just from here. So by just tapping my iPhone, I can turn the lamp on, and so it's really nice. And you also have in devices, you also have a feature called guard, which if you have Amazon devices and you turn the guard feature on, it will listen for unusual noises like breaking glass or unusual noises, and it can trigger an alert, which might be really important. So you can see over here, it's suggesting a routine, and it says, Alexa, good night. Oh, I shouldn't have.
Good night.
Okay.
Sleep tight.
Okay. You just heard that live. So what a routine is a routine is going to basically, it's a multi-step process where it's going to look at some of your devices. And in this case, if I enable this, what it's going to do, it's going to go through, look at my devices that are on and turn everything off. But you can set up your own routines. So for example, Alexa, start my day. So that may be, if I were to click on this, what it allows you to do is set a series of actions. Your routine might be different than mine, but if I say, Alexa, start my day, it may turn the light on in my bedroom. It may turn the salt lamp on in my studio. It may, if I have, window shades that are connected to Alexa, it may, pull the window shades up. So it lets you automate some of the tasks that you might do. So instead of saying, Alexa, turn my salt lamp on, Alexa, to pull the shades up, Alexa, do this, you could basically say, Alexa, start my whatever you name the routine, and then it will go ahead and do it. So it's kind of building blocks that allow you to initiate actions with the devices that you have. So again, you could have a 5-step action that is basically can be run with one command, which is really great. So it's basically provides an economy of scale when you have multiple devices in your household. I see we have some questions. Are there fees? No, all these skills are free. You just need to set up the routines to use it. So what we've been showing you are basically routines and skills that are built into the Alexa app that runs on, Android and iPhones. And again, really powerful. And you won't pay for any additional fees.
Brian,
Yes.
it's 12:30. I just wanted to tell people about the survey, but
yeah,
we could keep going. But for those who,
let me just go back. I just want to make sure just want to go through and make sure we didn't really miss too much here. Oh. Okay, I think, okay. What's going on here? I lost oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, so before we got a little, so we do have some information about routines in the presentation, and just want to go back here. So one of the things that came up, Adam and I were talking about, if you go to Amazon and you do a search, you can find out also about other skills that are free right within. You can do it in your app or you can do it online. And because your account are all connected, you basically turn on these different skills. So skills and sort of apps are basically the same thing. And there are literally thousands of these skills. I would say 95% of them are totally free. So a skill could be anything from, CNN to the Food Network. And then once they're enabled, you then have a set of commands that are specific to that skill. So you can see there, you have the Food Network skill. And once you enable that, you can say, Alexa, open Food Network Kitchen, and it probably gives you menus. So each skill has its own set of menus or words that are used to invoke the skill. And there's lots of them, music, news, books, games, communication skills. So there's lots of really great resources that you can find in the Alexa app, as well as on the web if you go to your Amazon account. Let's see, there's more. Let's see, chat. Can Alexa be turned into podcast feature and feature at the same time? Yeah, so you can play podcasts through Alexa. You can also use your Alexa device as an external Bluetooth speaker by basically saying, Alexa, connect, and then it will look to turn your it will look for your phone or whatever of a device, and then you can use it as an external speaker. I want to ask her to play. Yeah, so you can ask her to play podcast. You can also access, Pandora radio station from that as well. Privacy, yeah. I mean, privacy is definitely a concern. And again, most of the Alexa devices with cameras now have a lens cover. So if a physical cover, so you can toggle it and turn it off. You can also turn off the microphone if when you, let's say, leave for work, or you want to turn it off at any time. You can also turn the microphone off too. It's kind of it's a balancing act, because in a sense, the more you use it, the more the Alexa device is learning your habits. But if you want, there is a log file, and if you want, you can go in ever so often and sort of delete it. By doing it, you're doing a little bit of unlearning. So that's the balance. With that log file, it kind of knows what, let's say, podcasts or what radio station you're accessing. So the next time you ask for it, it's going to get it there to you much faster, because it's kind of learning your likes and dislikes. Great. Let's see what we got. So we went over this. We went over routines, which are great. We went over blueprints. We went over the task tracker. Just home automation, we didn't really get into that. But again, with the plugs, it's easy to use your voice to control lights in your environment, because of time constraints. We'll give you access to this presentation, and then you can watch the video. Motion sensor response. Oh yeah, okay. Can you go over motion sensor response above? Yeah, so I was actually playing around with the motion sensor. So Amazon came out with a really inexpensive device. Let me see, Amazon, I'll show you, Amazon Flex. So they came out, and these are probably with the Friday sales. These will probably be about $12. And these are a great way to kind of increase your coverage with your Alexa devices. It's really small. It plugs into an outlet, and then maybe that's not No, that's something else. Let me Amazon. It's really small. It plugs into into a plug, and then you have an option to plug in a night light or a motion sensor. So what can be really interesting is with the motion sensor plugged in, you can actually set the motion sensor. So for example, if you had the motion sensor, let's say set up in a garage, you get out of your car and then you walk past the motion sensor, you can set that to trip the lights in your house so that when you walk in, certain lights are set up. So here it is. It's $9.99 now. So you can tremendous savings. This is the Flex, this little box over here. You plug it in, and then it's got full Alexa capabilities, time, weather, whatever you want, listen to. And then as an option, let's see if they give you that. You can also get the night light, which so the device has a sensor. As soon as it senses it gets dark, the night light comes on. I have one in my bathroom, and I can listen to radio and news. But at night, it serves as a night light, which is really great. And you can also control how bright and the color of the night light, which is kind of a lot of fun. And then let's see, there's motion detector. Let's see that. And then you can also purchase for that a motion sensor that, let's see, is that the one? So that's the basic. So just see if they show that. Oh, so you can see the motion sensor. So that adds a couple of dollars, but the motion sensor basically plugs into the bottom of the device, and then you can set it to trigger certain responses. So for example, you can set it
including a routine.
Yeah, including a routine. So that's the Flex and the motion sensor. The motion sensor fits in the bottom of it. So you can set it a routine so that when the motion sensor is tripped, meaning it detected motion, it can turn on lights, open shades, whatever, or even set the thermostat to whatever you want it to be.
So you could have it set up so that when you go into the kitchen the first thing in the morning,
Yes,
just by going into the kitchen, it'll start, the routine for you.
correct. So it could be, the shades go up, the coffee pot goes on, and the lights go on. The two lamps in your.
Unless the cat gets there first.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's kind of ideal, like in scenarios like in a garage, because you come in, you park your car, you get out, it detects motion, and the lights go on, and the thermostat gets set to whatever you want it to be. So it's really great. Will she start talk to you, not just smart devices? I have memory issues and I don't remember. Okay. So this is a great, the Alexa devices are fantastic for jogging your memory and setting a reminder. I use it all the time when I'm in the kitchen because it's easy to forget. So you can set timers. So you can say, Alexa, set a 10-minute pasta timer. You can give it a name, and in 10 minutes, it will let you know that your pasta timer is done. They've also added something new now. So if you have multiple devices throughout your household, say you're doing some cooking and then you set that timer and you're up in the bedroom for whatever reason, it'll make the announcement there. You can also set timers from different rooms than where you really need it. So I can be in the bedroom and I can set a 10-minute kitchen timer from my bedroom, which is really nice. And also you can just set general notifications reminders. So I could say, Alexa, remind me to bring in that book to my office. And then
Right.
Alexa will say, when do you want it? And you'll say, Tuesday. It'll say, what time? You'll say 9:00. And then at that point in time, you will get an announcement.
Automatic reminder. Yeah.
And you'll also get a text message to your phone as well. So again, it really kind of covers all the bases. And again, if you have memory issues and you're using this on a regular basis, it can be really, really helpful. And as Adam said too, you certainly create some of those custom routines using the blueprints if you want to kind of, customize it a little bit as well. Any other questions? We're kind of getting close to that 45-minute. You wanted, let me just go to that. So there's a lot. Okay, so there's
Brian and I are working on a grant, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Oops, sorry about that.
If you would take a minute or two and complete this survey, just click the link. I promise you it's very quick, but your feedback would be greatly appreciated. It helps us see how we're doing and, and make improvements for the future. We can certainly stick around for a little while, but for those who need to leave, if you could just click the link, that'd be.
You know what? I'm going to have to. I'm going to put the link in. I have to put the link in the.
Oh, thank you.
Hold on. Let me just stop sharing. Let me just.
In the chat window.
Yeah, in the chat window. Let me do.
Okay.
That.
Oh, hi, Anita. I know you.
Hey, Adam. It's nice to see you. Thanks for this.
You're very welcome,
Anytime.
Anita.
It's great. I feel really badly though, because I think of myself as a technologist, but I live in a really tiny apartment. And so I've never had the need for Alexa, and it just seems so foreign to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a lifestyle choice, I have to say. But I definitely get what you're saying.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm going to also put the link for those of you that want access to the presentation. Let me just copy that.
Thank you. And by the way, a link to the recording for today's webinar will be emailed to you. Just, if you're registered, you'll automatically get it. And then eventually it will be on the ATAC YouTube channel. So if for some reason you didn't get the link, you can go to the ATAC YouTube channel on the link I sent you before to get it. Any other questions through chat or microphone for Brian or I?
Hello?
Yes.
Hi, I have a couple of questions. You have a feedback section for yourself, and that's great. Is there a feedback section with this device or the app where people who are using it can give their feedback, make suggestions or comments?
Yeah, there actually is. If you go to the Alexa app on your phone, there's a place where it says help and feedback.
Okay, that's great. So when this is set up, does it have to be set up, like, do I actually physically have to be in my brother's apartment to do this, or can I do it externally and access his device to do this? Because technically right now I cannot go into his residence.
Right. Let me see if I can bring it back up. Yeah, so let me just share my screen. All right. So can you see this screen?
Yes.
No. I think you need to talk to people who are, yes, thank you.
Okay. So you would, like I said, you would need to purchase the Alexa device from Amazon as a gift. And then you would, it tells you how to set up. You would need to know the name of their, the Wi-Fi network and their password if they had it.
Mm-hmm.
And then So then after you did that, you can then like mail it to your loved one or drop it off somehow, and then they should be able to connect.
Actually, he already has one.
Okay.
Although I'm not sure if he has the Google device or if he has the Amazon device. I can't recall because that was given to him by a different sibling. So, but it's okay. I will try to work that out. But
So
you
if
you actually have to be physically in there and set up the app for that device in that home.
No, you don't. No.
Oh.
So you would basically control it from your device.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So if you Google when you get off here, setting up Alexa remotely for loved ones, it'll take you right to the page and tell you the information that you need.
Oh, that's wonderful. And can he ask for a conference call? Can he say,
Yes.
Oh, great. So he can actually.
He can say, so again, if you also set up the care hub, it'll make it easier, but you can say, for example, if you're in his contacts or vice versa, he can say, drop into Elena's house and it will dial and get you all set up with a video conference if he has an Alexa device with a screen. And coming soon to the next generation of Alexa devices, it's not out yet, will be the ability actually to hold Zoom meetings on the Alexa devices. It's not out yet, but it's coming.
Oh, that he'll love that. He'll absolutely love that.
Like I said, now's a good time if you're thinking about buying some of the newer devices. The sales are going to be pretty incredible. You saw even the Flex is $999. I mean, if you just want to test the waters and see what you could do with that, I mean, it's a pretty powerful device. Not the best audio output, but you can still listen to books, music, have a nightlight, motion, whatever you want to do. So it's kind of interesting.
Brian?
Yes.
The Bitly is password protected for some reason.
The Bitly is password protected. So when they go there, what does it say? Does it say
it's asking for a password?
Let's see if someone requests it.
And then it says access denied, locked.
It might be okay. So what's going to happen? When they do that, it's going to send me a request, and then I will approve it, and then we'll be good to go. So I just got a couple of requests, so I will process those. And so
Okay.
it will work. It just that's the way I do it. So I just Gina Marie, I just approved.
Oh, you have to. Okay. All right.
I just approve it, and they get viewing rights this
Okay.
way. Yeah.
Got it. So you'll provide the access.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Great.
All right.
Brian, you want to show our email addresses?
Absolutely. Yeah, if you have any follow-up questions, please let us know.
And unless there's, are there any other questions?